Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Mary here, also known as Dr. Mary Whitney, Sunny Love, whichever one you choose. I've written 5 books, and 3 of them are under different names because we progress along the way, right? And so today is our 210th day together, and I'm talking about how trauma shaped decision making. Yes, trauma makes decision making sometimes a little bit lighter for those of us who have been in the field working for such a long time in the area of domestic violence and the different things that we have been working in, whether it's in prisons and community or just speaking at conferences throughout the state and other parts of the country. And so I wanted to say 210th day together. I thank you to each and every one who have liked, who have subscribed, who have shared our YouTube channel with others. I wanted to say, have you ever looked back on a decision you made and wondered, what was I thinking? Sometimes the answer is not a lack of intelligence. Sometimes it is unhealed trauma. And so I want us to sit up straight. I want us to hug ourselves. I want us to take 3 deep breaths together. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Another deep breath in. Deep breath out. Yes. When I began training to become a domestic violence advocate, I thought I was learning how to help others help themselves. What I discovered was that before I could help anyone else, I first had to understand the pain I carried inside myself. One of my trainers would often tell me, Mary, you have to get over your own anger before I can allow you to go out and teach others. At first, those words stung. I had spent so much of my childhood taking care of my younger brothers and sisters while living in fear myself. I learned responsibility early. I learned survival skills early. What I did not learn was how much those experiences were influencing the decisions I would be making in my adult life, right? As I studied being a domestic violence advocate, coercion, control, intimidation, isolation, manipulation, and abuse, I began to recognize that trauma shapes the way we think. Trauma teaches us how to survive danger, but survival skills are not always the same as healing skills, right? Sometimes trauma convinces us to trust the wrong people. Sometimes it teaches us to stay silent when we should speak. Okay? Sometimes it causes us to run when we should stay, or stay when we should leave. I learned that healing requires more than understanding what happened to us. It requires understanding how those experiences shape the way we would think for a lot of our lives. Trauma often dresses itself as fear, as anger, and hypervigilance, right? People pleasing or perfectionism. If we never remove the layers, they continue making decisions for us and we don't even realize it, right? The good news is this, guys. What trauma taught us can be unlearned. What survival requires does not have to become what defines us, right? The big takeaway I want you to remember for today is that trauma may explain decisions, but it does not have to determine our future. We have an opportunity to do many things in our lives instead of just being stuck in the mindset of what harmed us in those days, but think about it as it made us stronger. It made us be resilient in a different way than sometimes the world even describes resilience, and that sometimes drives me a little different in my core, and I know why, right? When we take away this here, I want you to know that trauma may explain some of the decisions we made, but our future can be rewritten, and it can be rewritten on purpose by us. I want you to reflect on a couple of questions today. What survival behavior helped you in the past? Which of those behaviors are no longer serving you this day? And what decisions, if you had known better, would you do differently now that you better understand your story, right? And I want to thank each and every one who have subscribed, who have liked, who have shared this YouTube channel with others. I pray that all is well with you and that you are taking care of yourself. And we're going to sit up straight once again, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. Give ourselves a gentle hug once again. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. We love you. We want you to take care of yourself, okay? Be safe. And we will see you on day 211. Yes, tomorrow, the Lord willing. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. We love you.